You tell me when. All right. Welcome, everybody. I'm glad that I have like 20 people when Dave Kennedy is speaking, I think now. So the fact that you're here instead of seeing him is pretty awesome. Is he speaking now? Oh, maybe not. Maybe I just... Don't ask me. Yes, he is? Woo! Yeah, look at me. I got people. It's awesome. I should read a schedule now and again. All right, this talk is getting back to the old school. It may make some people mad. That's okay. I can deal with that. Just don't shoot me afterwards, and we're fine. So about me. I am the security program manager at MRK Technologies. It's a great gig. I get to actually do Office of the CISO work, and I get to be technical and get my feet dirty, or my hands dirty still, so it's a perfect marriage of what I like to do. I've been doing this for 20 years, so when I say going back to the old school, it's not like going back to 2005. It's going back to like 97. My career specializes in blue team operations primarily. I've done some red team stuff. I'm not the one to speak on it though, because it's basically just stuff that I've done on my own and in a small way for different companies. My specialty has always been blue team. You know, it's security operations, it's threat intelligence, incident response. I want to catch bad guys. I want to, see what they're doing. I want to try to stop them. I want to try to, if they get in, when they get in, actually do something about it. Most importantly, I'm a father, I'm a husband, I'm a Marine, and I'm a gamer. I love video games. So before anyone asks, my favorite video game right now, because everybody always says, what do you play? So right now, it's Battlefield 1. No one. A little bit? All right. I hate you all except for you. I don't hate as much. What is this? Anyone?
That's a computer.
It is a computer. Whoa. Who said Apple IIe? Some folks over here? Thank you. That was the first computer I was ever doing anything with was an Apple IIe. Why am I giving this talk? All right, let's face it. Most people in information security now, unless you've been doing it for a while, unless you're an old timer, we don't typically have a good base of skills. We don't focus on things that we should. And people who are coming in, they don't understand old tools. Am I going into the matrix? They don't understand old tools. And you know what? If you've been doing this for more than 10 years, that's our fault. How about now? All right. That's our fault. We haven't been doing our job as some of the older folks in security to teach newer folks in security how to do things in an old school way, how to use tools that we came up with. Product focus has really become more important than skills. And my boss is here. He may not be thrilled with that because we are a bar. And there's nothing wrong with products. But you have to have other skills than just, I know where to click on this link to look at this pretty screen that's going to tell me stuff. Old timers, we need to be better mentors. We have forgotten where we came from, in my opinion. When I was coming up in security, I went to Neo InfoSec Forum every month to learn as much as I could. And I was lucky that there was people like Dave Kennedy's, like Chris Clymer, like Tom Eston, Matt Neely, local folks around here that if I wouldn't have gone there, I wouldn't have learned half of what I know now. We, as kind of the older folks in security, we need to be better mentors to the people who are coming in. And you know what? Young folks, I see some young folks over here. You guys need to get back to the old school. You need to understand where we came from and how we came up, because you can't rely so much on technology. So, back in my day, we didn't have next-gen anything. We had firewalls, and we had switches, we had routers, servers. I had Windows 3.11. Woo! Anyone else? Windows 3.11. Yeah! Windows 3.1. 4 work groups. Back in my day, it was still InfoSec. It wasn't cyber shit. wasn't a term. There weren't very many graphical tools. If you actually used a GUI, people laughed in your face. Why are you using a GUI? Do you not know what command line is? Terminal was our biggest tool. CMD, term, don't matter. As long as the screen is black with a white font, or black with a green font, or black with a red font, I mean, it's cool. But if you used anything that had a picture in it, you were shunned. So we need to not rely on technology as much. Technology can become a bottleneck, believe it or not. If you focus on a product, you're going to limit your experience and your career. If I say, you know what, I love using Microsoft 311 for work groups, and I'm going to devote my career because it is the thing. It is what everyone is using, and that's what I'm going to focus my career on. I'm going to last a couple of years, and then all of a sudden the skill set that I based around that specific singular product is gone. So now what am I going to do? Machine learning is cool, and then honestly it is a good thing. But at the same time, that's how you get Skynet. And mark my words, BSides Cleveland 2017, 2:30 talk in the BSides Lounge. Jamie Murdock said machine learning will become Skynet. Laugh all you want. It's going to happen. But technology has come such a long way. We have exponentially better technology now than we ever have. That is a fact. You look back 20 years, and our ability to monitor, detect, respond was nowhere near where it is today. And that's a good thing. Our shields are better than they ever have. Shields up in a company, we're able to monitor, detect, defend, respond better than we ever have been. We see more, we can respond faster. Our testing, monitoring, development, it's all better, right? Well, with more money comes more problems. Finally, after how many decades, how many years, information security is getting money. We're getting funding. We're getting a budget. Who here remembers back in the days when you couldn't get diddly for security? Right? Now, the floodgates, they have opened. And that's great. We're getting budget. But what are we spending that money on? Blinky boxes. Now, blinky boxes aren't bad. Some of those things we need. It's important to have. I understand that. But why are we not putting some of this money into one of the most important things in information security, in my opinion? Security awareness. Why are we not still putting money into security awareness? When most of the breaches, most of the APTs, most of the advanced things that we see, if you want to call them that, target people. Why aren't we putting money into training? And not specifically product training. I've seen a lot of companies, somebody comes on board, they're new to security, we're going to give you training. And you're like, sweet, I'm going to go to a SANS class or something. They're like, no, you're going to go to Qualys school, and you're going to learn Qualys inside and out. Well, that's not a bad thing, but what does that do? That pigeonholes you into specific technology. Why aren't you getting general security training that you really need to be good at your job? Why are we not putting more of this budget that we have for security into people? People will always be better than technology, period. It is a fact. We do need some technology, and we need it, and it's great, and we have great tools, but that tool doesn't mean anything if somebody sitting behind that console or that pretty HTML interface can do something with it. So with all this new stuff we have, and it's great and it's wonderful, what have we done? We've put more attack points on our network. We've opened up more vulnerabilities with that equipment. Now, that's kind of just the nature of the beast, right? If I throw up my phone on a corporate network, guess what? That's an entry point to that network now. It's going to happen. Times they are changing. But the more we throw on there, the more we have to keep track of, we have to patch. That's fine, as long as we actually patch stuff, which isn't really happening. And most importantly, we're forgetting open source. Back in my day, there were so many great tools we used that were open sourced. We focused on looking at open source before we looked at purchasing something. I remember wanting to get a new piece of technology and my boss saying, is there an open source tool we can do for that? Nowadays, it's, hey, I found this open source tool, I think it's really cool. Well, why can't we just buy X, Y, and Z instead? So, yeah, I'm a cynical guy up here just saying how great things were back in my day. But change is good. Change works. Kind of like Gordon Gekko. Greed is good. Greed works. Everything changes and we need to accept it. And this hurts. But damn it, it is cyber now, and we need to accept it. We actually sound foolish when we keep trying to hold on to the old flag of InfoSec. Because if you talk to any executive, any board member, what do they consider information security?
Cyber.
Thank you, cyber. We may not like it, but we need to start using that term because that's what the term that the people who write checks, the people who say, yes, you can have another resource, the people who say, yes, we do need to look into this product, that's the term they're used to. We got to swallow that pill and use it. So what now? Go back to the old school. There's some basic tools that everyone should be able to use. If you're doing anything in information security, there's some basic stuff you should be able to do. Who knows what this is?
Wireshark.
Wireshark! If you do anything from a monitoring and detection, pen testing, I'm not a web app guy, I'm not a dev, I don't know if this really matters to y'all. Charles, yes, no? Yes, some? Okay, good. You need to be able to look at a packet capture and understand it. More than just, oh, here's a source address and here's a destination address. You need to be able to follow that shit through. You need to be able to actually understand what's going on the wire. What's this? Firewall logs. You need to understand how to read firewall logs. And not just because the product that you're using that's next-gen super awesome log viewer 3.0 gives you a graphical representation of what they are. Because if this is all it gives you, there's a lot more going on there, guys. You need to be able to understand how to read some firewall logs. I'm not saying you have to be a network engineer, but you need to understand how to read these. What's this? Windows event logs. Perfect. Thank you, sir. You know what? Hold on. I was going to save this for the end, but not only did you name it.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Not only did you name it, that's exactly what that is. It's a brute force attack in Windows log. We need to understand what it is, why is it important, and how to figure out what's going on based off of this log. Not a tool that's telling me something bad is happening, but the log itself. What's this? Not you. Netcat. It is Netcat. Some basic information. Very easy tool to use, very powerful tool to use. Most people don't even look at this anymore. Don't even think about it. Laugh. No, seriously, you may laugh. I can't tell you how many security professionals don't know how to use this powerful tool. So I'm seeing X, Y, and Z, and I think it might be bad. What do you think? I think you should probably Google that. Have you done that? No? Why not? Well, because SuperSim 3.0 didn't say it was bad. Okay, but you're investigating it. Learn some more information on this. Google is your friend. Google's powerful. And for whatever reason, we have security professionals that can find the perfect meme in 3.2 seconds on a Facebook comment, but they can't go on Google to figure out if this is a bad hash or this is a bad IP. Don't forget about your skills. Learn how to analyze data manually. Learn how to troubleshoot things. What happens if that super secret Ninja 3.0 next gen machine learning tool that you have, that you spend all your time on, goes down? What happens then? You're going to have to manually do things. And that's when people start going, oh crap, I don't know how to do that. Learn how to do that. Everyone who does anything with security needs to know some very basic networking. You don't have to be a network engineer, but you need to know some basic networking. You need to know some ports, protocols, the basic architecture of your own environment, and how attacks happen, how they work, what happens when somebody does a brute force, what happens when you have a firewall or a Windows event log that says login fail, login fail, login fail, login fail, login fail, login success in 5 seconds. What does that mean? Well, that's pretty bad. There's information security professionals who don't know the difference between stateful and stateless. There's information security professionals who don't know that UDP is connectionless, or why that matters. That's important. I mean, this is crap that we should know, guys. Best practices. They're called that for a reason. Patching. InfoSec 101 pretty much. We should be patching stuff. And yeah, before anyone says, well, but Jamie, we have a legacy system that if we patch it, it will die and business comes to a halt. I get that. I understand that. There is no organization that doesn't have that. But what are your compensating controls for that system that cannot be patched? Do you have more monitoring on that? Is there any kind of HIDs on that? Do you have it segmented? Again, and segmentation. Why in 2017 are we still seeing so many flat networks? We shouldn't. We really shouldn't, especially with next-gen super secret ninja thing 2.0. Egress filtering. I still see large organizations that don't do any kind of egress filtering because it's hard, because we have to put time into figuring out what ports we need to go outbound for these applications, and you know what? That might in fact impact the business. Okay, that's a fair statement. You know what really impacts the business? CNN. Being on CNN will really mess up your business. Code reviews. For my friend Charles, developers started off not doing any real code reviews for security. It's a fair statement. However, then they realized that's an important thing to do. So they started doing code reviews. Devs, thank you. However, next gen code review tool 3.7 comes out. And they just worry, let's throw it up there, and if it says we're good, we're good. No. That's what peer reviews are actually for. That's what you should be doing when you do a code review. Go ahead and throw it up to, Code Review Scanner 3.7. And if it comes back good, awesome. But have a peer review go through it still, because Super Ninja Code Review 3.7 may have missed something. Most importantly, research. Look into what you're doing. If your focus in information security is pen testing, never stop learning. Who was in John Strand's talk at 1? That guy's passionate about what he does, isn't he? He had so many great points outside of just the active defense stuff that I absolutely loved. He had a bunch of great points. He was passionate. Always keep learning. One of the things he was talking about was referencing the folks over at TrustedSec and what he's seen with his organization. The same attack you use, I'm going to pick on Larry because I can see him. Larry, if you use an attack at one customer tomorrow, are you going to use the same attack in another customer the next day? Maybe. Exactly. He may not. Do your research. New things come out. Now listen, I'm an old guy. I've been doing this for 20 years. I started at the bottom, now I'm here, and now I'm here. Don't picture yourself into a single product. We've talked about that. That will limit your career and will limit your knowledge. Broaden your knowledge base, because I relied on technology called spell check, and apparently broaden is a great word to use. I fell into my own trap. Make sure you broaden your knowledge base. Or you can broaden your knowledge base. That'd probably be an even better thing.
Borden Books.
What's that?
Borden Books. Was that a bookstore?
Maybe.
I think so.
Yeah.
Borders.
Borders. I remember Borders. Never, ever stop learning. For 20 years I've been doing this, and I still learn things all the time. And I'm not just talking about new products that come out. I talked to a recent graduate college student earlier this week who was teaching me new ways of thinking about stuff that blew my mind. Never stop learning. Be a mentor and have a mentor. If you've been doing this for a while, be a mentor to somebody, whether it's somebody you work with, somebody that's in a security group that you attend. Share the knowledge. You have knowledge. Regardless of whether you've been doing this for 20 years or 2 years, you have something to share. Share that stuff. If you're coming into this, whether you've been a network engineer for 15 years and now you're getting into security, or you're coming up new, you're in a cybersecurity program at school and you're coming into it, find a mentor. Find somebody who's been doing this for a while. Learn from them. Stay up late at night learning new stuff that you may have not learned before. And finally, and most importantly, if all else fails, try harder. That's it.